the greatest disservice that a man can do to his people, that a woman can do to his people, is to make the people unlearned, uneducated, to make their mind uneducated. Education is the quickest way out of poverty. When a man is learned, when a man is educated, he thinks better. So the greatest disservice that a man can ever do to his people is to make the people unlearned, to make their mind uneducated. Because when I go around, I see a lot of people that can't read, they can't write, they can't even speak the common language, which is English. Not even going to a primary school. If the people even go to primary school, maybe they stop in primary 6. You cannot compare a primary 6 person with the person that never entered the school. The way they think, the way they behave is different. So when you make a people unlearned, when you make the people uneducated, when you deprive them from their primary education, you take away their rights. And that is the problem we have in the church today. When the people cannot read, they cannot write, so it's what they tell us that we obey. Whether the people are even telling lies, we don't even know. Just because we are not learned, we are not educated. So why can't we just give at least primary education to every child that is born? Why? Because when you make the people unlearned, when you make the people uneducated, that means you are the one that is controlling the people, because they can't reason for themselves. The people will be ignorant. They swallow everything that you tell them because they can't read. They can't think for themselves. You are the one thinking for them. Okay, the people that didn't even go to primary school, they can't even speak the English, the general language. Yet, these people have no common skill, like learning something handwork. Carpentry is there, painting is there, iron work is there, electrical work is there. They did not learn any skill. Yet, they cannot speak the language. How do you want the people to survive? And they continue to they continue to be laborers. Is that how they are going to live forever? They don't have a say of their own, because their mind is unlearned. They are not educated. They can't even speak the common language so that they can relate with every other person. Yet they don't have a skill. They only go up and down doing labors for people. Why? Why? I remember when we were young, we had free education. We had free education. Most of us would have not been able to go to school without that free education. Our parents couldn't afford it. Why can't we have at least primary school education for every child that is born? Why? Please, let us encourage those around us to take an education. Let nobody tell you that it's Western education. When we are learned, we will begin to think in a proper way. It helps our thinking. But whereby somebody is not learned, he cannot speak English, he cannot read anything, and then somebody there will just come and be telling rubbish. You'll be saying things that are not there where what is reading. And that is what we have in the church today. Because most people are not learned. They are not educated. They are ignorant. And that is why the Bible said in Hosea 4:6, my people perish because of lack of understanding. Somebody will just come and stand and say, I'm Jesus. And people will be following the person. People will be following him. He will have followers. And these followers, they can't read, they can't write. They don't know their right from their left. Somebody will just stand up and say, I'm married to 7 wives. Why? Because the people are not learned. The people are not educated. They don't know their right. They don't know their left. They don't know why they are here. They think, okay, we only came here to come and marry, and somebody's sitting there waiting for one husband to come and marry her. Because our minds are not educated. Our minds are not educated. We need education. We want the people to be able to read and write. And you read. Read for yourself. You exploit. It's very unfair. It's very unfair for us to just cower these people. They can't read. They can't write. They can't even communicate. How do they survive? How are they going to survive? And then you made the people, put them in bondage, in slavery. It's not fair. It's not fair. At least we should be able to give a primary education, good education, to every child that is born. Not just, I met a child who has been in the primary school for so many years. This child cannot read. He can't write. Why don't that teacher tell the child, please, since you can't meet up with this education, go take a trade. Take tailoring. Look for a trade so that you can survive. And then even when we have the teachers there, some of them will not even show up. Will not even do the needful. Why? Because they want to keep these people uneducated, unlearned, so that they can't reason, they can't think. And this is unfair. We should be able to encourage someone there to take an education, no matter the level it is. I remember somebody was staying with me, and I asked him, why don't you go to school? He said, no, he doesn't want to go to school. I said, I will pay for you. He said, no, that is not going to school. He wants to be a pastor. And I met one other with his friend. That one too is a pastor in another church. I said, what are you doing in that place? You are supposed to be in the university. You are supposed to be in the university. You abandon your education and say you want to be a pastor. How do you survive? How? You want to survive on the people? No, it's not supposed not to be like that. That is why you find a lot of deception today in the church. Because these people are unlearned. They can't even read. They can't even write. They don't exploit. They don't get information. We should be able to read for ourselves. Read the history. Find out. Educate yourself. Education is the quickest way to get out of poverty. Let's get our mind learned. Let's get our mind educated. The world have moved on. We shouldn't put people in this kind of situation, in darkness. In darkness. I remember several years ago when I went to one of the states. Immediately we just entered this filling station. You see children carrying plate, running, begging. Why? Why? Is it supposed to be like that? The Bible says, do to others what you want them to do to you. You are in the position and you are in the power. There's no child that I've ever stayed with me that I never encouraged them to go to school. I sent them to school.